A bad payment system will crash your SaaS and lose to customer. Here is how you should build a production ready payment system. So I'm going to show you first the sign up flow of how the sign up flow should look like for the payments. Then I'm going to show you how the Polar checkout creation should look like, and after that the one important step or is creating the Polar customer portal. So we're going to let the user be able to update the subscription and cancel the subscription and also manage the subscription. So the first step is the sign up flow, and this is a very important step. So in the first step, I'm going to zoom a little bit, and when the user click on the sign up, we are going to collect the user details, and this is the most important step that if you are building with AI, the most of your AI should miss. And I have created the applications for myself, and the AI is missing this step. I think this is a very important step. We are going to check if our customer already exists in the Polar. So the AI already assumed that there is no customer into the Polar dashboard. So if we are going to check first if the customer exists, then we're going to fetch the customer detail from the Polar. So if the customer does not exist, we're going to create the customers in Polar using the API. So in the both result, we are going to get the Polar customer ID. Then we're going to get the Polar customer ID, then set the default plan, and then we're going to save the user information. First, we're going to save the user details, then the Polar customer ID, then the plan. These are the things that we are going to be saving, and then we are going to mark the sign up as completed and then redirect the user to the application or dashboard. So this is how a sign up flow should look like. So to show you practically, I am going to run the project into the localhost. So I'm going to run the npm dev. Now it will open the project that we have built. First, it will push all the changes to the Convex deployment, and then if it is successful, then it is going to run the dev server. Now it is uploading the function to the Convex. So I'm going to show you how the Convex is looking. Now the Convex has a pending subscription table, then one is the prompts table, and then there is a users table. Currently we have 2 users in our database, and these are their information. So let me take a look at the sandbox environment, go to the products. This is the product we have. For example, into the sandbox, this is the Promcrafts Pro. It is a $5 a month subscription. So it is now the localhost is running, so I'm going to open it inside of the browser. Also, this is the dev server, but my production application that is using the Polar payment is running on this URL on the from crafts.versal.app. So for now, I'm going to show you the development. So in production, I have to add the card, so I don't want to do that. That's why I'm going to run it in the development environment. So for now it is compiling this route. So after it compiles, it will going to show us the landing page. So I think it is missing this environment variable into the env, so I'm going to quickly add that and come back. And now I have set up the environment variable, and now it's showing us the landing page. So I'm going to first sign up, continue with the Google. I'm going to select this account for now. So there are the 2 users into the Convex user, Clerk users. So it will going to create a 3rd user. So I'm going to verify it. It is just the Clerk for captcha. So this is the username I'm going to set. As you can see, I have created the user and it is on the hobby plan, free plan. So I'm going to take a look at the Clerk. Yes, it has created this inside of the Clerk as well. So move to the Convex deployment. Yes, the user is created it here also. As you can see, build with just here. This is the email address and this is the correct name. Also, you can take a look. We have a Convex ID, then avatar URL, the Clerk ID, email name. Then there is a default plan of hobby. Then the most important field, the customer, Polar customer ID. This is the important thing. We have to store it inside of the database. And there are the other field like Polar subscription ID and Polar subscription status. And there is a Polar last event. Will be failed when we are going to upgrade to the Pro plan. So this is the users table. So I'm going to show the schema as well. To zoom a little. This is the user schema inside of our Convex backend. You can see email name, plan, Polar customer ID, and these are some of the indexes. So I'm going to take a look at the dashboard and go to the customers, and I'm going to search does the customer exist inside of it or not. Yes, the customer does exist and created, as you can see. And we'll go to the bottom, it should have some metadata as well. You can see it has a ID, external ID, email address, name, and this is the metadata that we have attached. One is the Clerk ID and the second is the Convex user ID. It is useful because when we later upgrade the user's plan, then this is going to be needed. So for now I'm going to go to the billing and try to upgrade the plans. So it is compiling now, it is opening the page now. It is before that I'm going to show you the theory part of how the checkout URL is created. So this is the checkout URL creation flow. The user click on the upgrade or buy button, then we are going to send the selected plan to the backend. So in this case we are going to have two plan, one is the hobby plan and one is the pro plan. So when the user click on the pro plan, we're going to select the pro and then send this pro plan to the backend. Then our backend verified that the user is logged in. Then after taking that, then our backend get the user information and also the Polar customer ID from the database. Then it validates the plan. Then if the plan is valid, then it is going to go to this process. If not, it is going to show us an error. So after that it will get the Polar product ID from the plan for the plan. Then after that I can request the checkout from the Polar. So it will make API call to the Polar using the Polar SDK. And the most important thing that it sends these three pieces. One is the product ID, second is the customer ID, and third is the success URL. These are the three parameters that our front end send to the backend and then our backend send to the Polar. And after that, if there are any error, we're going to show the errors. Then if there are no errors, this is going to create the checkout URL, then send the checkout URL to the front end. Then our front end receives the checkout URL, then redirects the user to that checkout. Then the user completes the payment. After that, the Polar redirects to the users to the success page. And this is the thing that happened behind. Polar sends the payment webhook to the backend, then our backend Convex receive it, then backend verifies the payment. Then after that, update the user plan inside of the database and then activate the paid features. So this is how the Polar checkout creation workflow should look like and should have. So now I'm going to click on the continue to checkout. Now it should redirect us to, as you can see, I'm on the checkout page. So to test it out, so this is the correct information. If you want to update it, you just have to put the 424242 and it will going to be this. So everything is selected. I'm going to subscribe now. Here you can see the email is already pre-filled because of our customer ID. Now our payment is successful. Now it's going to redirect us. Now as you can see, our plan has been upgraded to Pro. You can see. So when I come to the logs, this is the previous error we get. Go to the data and then to the users. So this is, as you can see, the plan has been changed, and you can see the Polar, it has a Polar event ID. Also the Polar subscription ID has been filled. Also the status and these fields are have been filled. So this is user data list here, and we go to the customers. To search the customer and look for it. Here you can see it has this customer, and it will, as you can see, it has this subscription because I have to, before that I have cancelled the subscription and now I have activated the subscription. As you can see when going to the view the details, so today date is, it will going to renew at this date and it is started this time. You can see today is July 18, so the subscription is started. So when we go to the webhooks, because of this webhook, this Polar is able to upgrade the plan. You can see this is the webhook that it triggers the subscription.update, subscription.active and subscription.created. Then the Convex receives that webhook and verify it and then update the user's plan. So this is the complete workflow of the user upgradation. As you can see, the user is now on the Pro. So to look at this step is completed. Now I'm going to look at the Polar customer portal creation. In this, when the user click on the manage billing, then the request is sent to the backend. Then backend verifies the logged in user. After that, it fetches the user from the Convex database. After that, they get the user for customer ID. Then we're going to check the customer ID. If it is not found, we're going to show an error. Then backend sends the customer ID and the return URL. So these are the parameters that we're going to have to send to the Polar. Then Polar create the customer Polar session, and after the session is created, if this method is successful, then the Polar returns the customer portal URL. Then the backend going to send it to the front end, then front end receives the URL and redirect the user to the customer portal. So if there are any error, we're going to show that there is an error with the portal creation. So I'm going to show to you practically. So we are now on the Pro plan, so we should be able to generate the customer portal. So I'm going to click on the manage subscription. It is saying that it's loading the portal. Now as you can see, I am able to see my subscription. This is the plan name, this is the amount, this is the next invoice, and I am able to manage the subscription and change the plan as well. I want to see the orders, usage, I can manage the plan. So this is how the production level payment system should be handled. So as you can see, this is the whole workflow. Also, if you want to see this project, it's live on the GitHub as well, and you can check out the project. This is the project URL, promptcrafts.vercel.app. It's live on this URL, and also it's open source, so you can check this repository as well. It's called the prompt crafts. So you will find this link into the description. So this is the If you want any help when it comes to payment integration into your project, then comment under my video. I would love to do that for you and make this process super seamless and easy for you. So take care and bye.